In 1940, Dick Grayson was introduced as Robin, the new sidekick for the popular hero known as Batman. Now, almost 80 years later, the character has changed into something truly different. Before we get into that story though, be sure to subscribe to our channel and check out our Patreon page in the video description below. So here's the thing, as most of you know, Grayson left the mantle of Robin behind a long time ago, and though he has been many things since then, a super spy, a Batman himself, and most importantly, a standalone hero named Nightwing, more recently he was none of those things, instead working as a taxi driver in a city he was once guardian of, known as Blüdhaven. This all began with the wedding that was supposed to happen between Grayson's former mentor, Batman, and Catwoman. During that time, it was announced that Grayson would be taking over as Batman, while Bruce presumably would go off on his honeymoon and settle into married life. Instead, the wedding fell apart due to manipulations by the villain Bane, and while Grayson did indeed briefly become Batman, shortly after, Dick was shot by a sniper rifle at the direction of Bane. Though I initially thought this wasn't going to be a big deal given how brief a moment it was in the Batman series where it all takes place, I was wrong, and instead it has had a profound effect on Grayson's character. The writers drew upon various cases of real-world brain injuries, and thus revealed that Grayson lost most of his adult memories and experienced a major personality change along with it. The once relatively bright and optimistic character became Ric Grayson, who demonstrated a greater affinity towards drinking and gambling, and apparently lost all interest in fighting crime like he once did. Rick moved to Blüdhaven and became a driver, as mentioned. In response, Barbara Gordon, also known as Batgirl, confronted Rick over this. Using the long-standing relationship between the two, she tried to pull out Nightwing's own memories and bring him back into the Bat family. This did not go well, and Rick violently rejected the whole thing, destroying an old Nightwing hideout along with many of his old costumes and gadgets. However, Rick couldn't seem to escape his need to help others. Over time, he found himself helping out Blüdhaven's police and almost instinctively stopping crimes when he came across them. Soon enough, Scarecrow invaded Blüdhaven, and Rick decided to once again become Nightwing. It's hard to define this as him returning back to normal though, and that's particularly telling in the current comics, where Rick's ancestor William Cobb comes to Blüdhaven. This man was kept young and powerful as a Talon thanks to a powerful group called the Court of the Owls, a group that has secretly been controlling Gotham for centuries. Cobb insists that Rick finally accepts something that had been revealed about the Grayson family long ago, that this family was a part of the Court of the Owls, and at the time they wanted Dick Grayson to accept his family's legacy and join them. Dick Grayson rejected the original offer from the court, but the question now becomes, will Rick do the same? That part is unclear, but it's very interesting. And based on what's been advertised for the issues coming out of the Nightwing series in November, it looks like Rick might actually accept becoming a Talon. Personally, I've been enjoying these changes. They're a good example of how a story handled well can make up for a lot. Originally, I wasn't too happy with the idea of yet another member of the Batman family becoming more grim and more dark. But I have to say that Dan Jurgens and the other artists behind the Nightwing series have been doing a pretty good job of things so far. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep reading comics.